What if the biggest battle in Dutton Ranch Season 2 isn't over land, money, or revenge, but over a child? After everything that happened during the explosive Season 1 finale, fans have been asking one emotional question above all others. Will Oreana keep her baby? The answer could completely reshape the future of the 10-petal ranch and every relationship surrounding Beth, Rip, Beulah, and Mariano. While Paramount hasn't officially revealed Oreana's fate, there are plenty of clues suggesting that her pregnancy could become one of the emotional centerpieces of Season 2. Today, we're breaking down every possibility, every theory, and every hidden clue that may reveal what lies ahead. Let's dive in. Oreana Jackson has a secret: she's pregnant. Presumably, Carter is the father, unless she had other off-screen hookups in the few weeks that elapsed in Dutton Ranch, Season 1. However, Oreana didn't tell Carter about her condition. Instead, she proposed running away with him. Whether she knows it or not, Oreana is partially repeating how Beulah got pregnant with her father, Rob Will, in 1981. Teenage Beulah, Rebecca Robles, got herself raped, as Beulah's father would say, and she killed Rob Will's father, Luke, Cameron Cowperthwaite, as seen in Dutton Ranch Episode 7's flashbacks. Oreana's story has never been simple. From the moment she was introduced, she wasn't portrayed as someone chasing power or wealth. Instead, she was someone constantly caught between loyalty, survival, and doing what she believed was right. That internal conflict made her one of the most unpredictable characters in the series. Now, with a baby on the way, every decision carries even greater consequences. Unlike before, Oreana isn't just fighting for herself anymore. She's fighting for another life. And that changes everything. The Season 1 finale left almost every major character facing impossible choices. Beth and Rip were trying to survive the growing cartel threat. Beulah was forced to confront years of painful secrets. Carter's fate remained uncertain. Meanwhile, the ranch itself appeared closer than ever to total collapse. In the middle of all that chaos, Oreana's pregnancy became an emotional reminder that even during the darkest moments, new life can represent hope. But hope also attracts danger. If criminal organizations discover that Oreana's child could become leverage against the ranch, she immediately becomes one of the most vulnerable people in the story. That possibility alone may force Beth and Rip to protect her in ways fans never expected. One of the biggest questions is whether Oreana actually wants to raise the baby herself. Oreana's pregnancy also echoes what Beth Dutton went through when she got pregnant as a teenager in Yellowstone, only for her brother, Jamie Dutton, Wes Bentley, to have her sterilized. Hopefully, something happens next to Oreana regarding her pregnancy. So far, the series has shown that she deeply values family. However, she's also painfully aware of the violent world surrounding the ranch. Would anyone willingly bring a child into that environment? It's a heartbreaking dilemma. Keeping the baby means accepting enormous risks. Leaving might mean losing a part of herself forever. Season 2 could explore that emotional struggle in much greater detail. Instead of focusing only on action, the writers may choose to show the personal cost of living in such a dangerous world. Beth Dutton could play a surprisingly important role in Oreana's journey. Although Beth is famous for her sharp tongue and fearless attitude, viewers also know that children often reveal a softer side of her character. She understands what family means, even if she rarely expresses it openly. If Oreana begins doubting whether she can protect her baby, Beth may become one of the few people capable of convincing her not to give up. Of course, Beth wouldn't offer comfort in a traditional way. She'd probably challenge Oreana. Push her. Demand that she become stronger than she ever imagined possible. That's simply who Beth is. Rip's perspective could be very different. Rip has always believed that protecting the innocent comes before everything else. If he learns that Oreana and her unborn child are in danger, it's easy to imagine him stepping in without hesitation. He's never needed blood ties to care about someone. Throughout his life, he's created family through loyalty. That same loyalty could extend to Oreana and her child. Then there's Beulah. Season May 2 finally reveal how deeply she cares about the next generation. After years spent protecting the ranch, Beulah understands that land alone means nothing without people to inherit it. A child represents the future. If Oreana keeps the baby, Beulah may see it as another reason to keep fighting despite everything she's lost. That emotional connection could help repair some of the trust damaged during Season 1. Of course, not everyone may celebrate the pregnancy. If Mariano, or anyone connected to the criminal network, learns about Oreana's baby, they could view the child as a weakness to exploit. Throughout crime dramas, families often become targets because they're the easiest way to pressure someone into obedience. Season 2 could explore exactly that kind of emotional tension. Instead of attacking the ranch directly, the villains might attempt to threaten the people Beth and Rip care about most. That would immediately raise the stakes. Another possibility is that Oreana chooses to leave the ranch altogether. At first, that sounds like the safest option. A fresh start. A quieter life. A chance to raise her child far away from violence. But anyone who's watched this series knows that leaving isn't always so simple. The past has a way of following people. If powerful enemies believe Oreana knows too much, distance alone won't guarantee safety. Some fans believe the baby itself could symbolize the future of the ranch. Throughout the series, characters have fought endlessly over land, ownership, and legacy. A newborn child reminds everyone that legacy isn't just about property. It's about the people who come after us. That idea fits perfectly with the themes the show has explored since the beginning. Season 2 could also explore Oreana's emotional fears. Many expectant mothers wonder whether they'll be good parents. Oreana's concerns may be even greater because of everything she's experienced. She may question whether she's strong enough. Whether she's bringing a child into a world filled with violence. Whether she deserves happiness after everything that's happened. Those doubts could become some of the season's most powerful moments. One thing is almost certain. Oreana won't have to face those challenges alone. Whether it's Beth offering hard-earned wisdom, Rip standing guard whenever danger approaches, or Beulah helping prepare the ranch for whatever comes next, there's every reason to believe that Oreana will have people willing to fight for her. That support could become the foundation for a stronger, more united family in Season 2. Still, the biggest mystery remains unanswered. Will Oreana actually keep her baby? At this point, there hasn't been any official confirmation from the creators. The series has intentionally kept that storyline under wraps, leaving fans to speculate about what comes next. But based on the emotional direction of the finale, many believe the writers are building toward a story about hope, resilience, and protecting the next generation rather than taking that hope away. If that's true, Oreana's baby could become one of the most important symbols in the entire series. Not because the child changes the ranch overnight, but because the child gives everyone another reason to keep fighting. As we wait for more official information about Dutton Ranch Season 2, one thing seems clear. Oreana's journey is only beginning. Whether she keeps her baby, leaves the ranch, or finds herself caught in an even greater conflict, her decisions could affect every major character. And that's exactly why fans are watching so closely. What do you think? Will Oreana choose to keep her baby and raise the child at the 10-Petal Ranch? Or will she decide that the only way to protect her baby is to leave everything behind? But here's where things get even more interesting. What if Oreana's biggest challenge isn't deciding whether to keep her baby? What if it's discovering who she can actually trust once the child is born? Throughout Season 1, alliances shifted constantly. Characters who appeared loyal often hid painful secrets, while former enemies unexpectedly became valuable allies. That uncertainty could become even more dangerous in Season 2 because every decision Oreana makes will affect not only her but also her baby's future. Imagine waking up every morning knowing someone could use your child as leverage. That's the kind of emotional pressure that could define Oreana's storyline. Unlike Beth, who has spent years learning how to survive betrayal, Oreana is entering unfamiliar territory. She'll have to learn quickly that motherhood on the 10-Petal Ranch isn't just about love and sacrifice, it's about survival. That alone could transform her into one of the strongest characters in the series. Many fans believe pregnancy will change Oreana's personality, not because she'll become weaker, but because she'll discover a new kind of strength. History has shown that people become capable of extraordinary things when they're protecting someone they love. Season 2 could show Oreana evolving from someone who often reacted to danger into someone who actively confronts it. That character development would make perfect sense. Every season of Dutton Ranch has pushed its characters to grow through hardship. Oreana's journey may simply be the next chapter in that tradition. Another question worth asking is whether the baby could finally bring peace between families that have spent years fighting each other. It sounds unlikely. After everything that's happened, forgiveness doesn't come easily in this world. But children have a way of changing priorities. Characters who once cared only about revenge may begin thinking about the future instead. Beulah, for example, has spent much of her life protecting land and legacy. A new child could remind her that legacy isn't measured only by acres or cattle. It's measured by the lives left behind. That realization might inspire Beulah to make choices she never would have considered before. Perhaps she'll finally reveal every secret she's been keeping. Perhaps she'll risk everything to ensure the next generation grows up free from fear. If she does, Beth may begin seeing her in an entirely different light. Of course, that doesn't mean Beth will suddenly trust her completely. Beth has never been quick to forgive. Trust must be earned. And after the events of Season 1, Beulah has a long road ahead. Still, both women now have something in common. They understand that protecting children matters more than winning personal battles. That shared purpose could slowly bring them together. Meanwhile, Rip may become Oreana's quiet protector. Rip has never needed recognition for doing the right thing. He doesn't make speeches. He doesn't seek praise. He simply acts. If Oreana finds herself threatened, Rip will likely be among the first to stand between her and danger. That's always been his way. But what if the danger isn't physical? What if Oreana begins struggling emotionally? Pregnancy can bring fear, uncertainty, and overwhelming responsibility, especially during times of crisis. Season 2 could explore that emotional side in a way the series hasn't before. Instead of constant action, viewers may witness quieter moments that reveal just how much these characters have been carrying inside. Those scenes often become the most memorable because they remind audiences that even the toughest people have breaking points. One theory gaining attention among fans is that Oreana's child could represent a fresh beginning for the ranch itself. Think about everything the 10-petal ranch has endured. Violence. Betrayal. Criminal influence. Family conflict. Loss. A newborn child offers something none of those things can provide. Hope. Not guaranteed happiness. Not an easy future. Just hope. Sometimes that's enough to keep people fighting. However, another possibility shouldn't be ignored. What if Oreana decides that love means letting go? Suppose she concludes that the ranch has become too dangerous. Instead of raising her child there, she may choose another path entirely. Perhaps she asks someone else to care for the baby. Perhaps she disappears to protect the child's identity. Perhaps she sacrifices her own happiness so the baby can have a safer life. It would be one of the most heartbreaking decisions imaginable. Yet it's exactly the kind of emotional dilemma that fits the tone of Dutton Ranch. No choice comes without consequences. Every victory requires sacrifice. Another storyline fans continue discussing is Carter. If Carter returns safely, he could become one of the first people to welcome Oreana's child into the ranch family. That moment would symbolize something much bigger than friendship. It would represent healing after everything both characters have endured. The writers have repeatedly emphasized that family isn't always defined by blood. Sometimes it's built through shared hardship. Oreana's baby could become the newest member of that chosen family. There's also the possibility that the child becomes a source of unity among characters who rarely agree on anything. Beth. Rip. Beulah. Even some ranch hands. All of them may discover that protecting the next generation matters more than old disagreements. That doesn't mean conflict disappears. Far from it. But it could shift the focus from revenge to responsibility. As the season progresses, Oreana may realize that keeping her baby isn't simply about making one decision. It's about making hundreds of difficult decisions every single day. Who can she trust? Where can she go? How much truth should she reveal? How far is she willing to go to keep her child safe? Those questions don't have easy answers. And that's precisely why her storyline has the potential to become one of Season 2's strongest emotional arcs. If the writers handle it carefully, Oreana could emerge as one of the series' most compelling characters, not because she's the loudest or the toughest, but because she finds courage when everything around her seems to be falling apart.